One of my first cameras was a Polaroid, and still is. I kind of hide them everywhere in my apartment so that I don't access them very easily.
Yeah.
And then when I find them, I am so excited and thrilled. But, you know, they're so out of date. Now I only use it for very special occasions because they don't make the film anymore.
Yeah.
I always found with portraits and Polaroid that the Polaroid was always the best.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I've collected my Polaroid 2 and 4x5. Yeah, and then you think, why didn't I get that?
I mean, we think about film being such a long ways from where we are now, but it really wasn't that long ago. You've been very vocal and very strong-willed towards being analog and staying analog and not allowing that to change, right?
I know, and I've suffered from it. I've suffered for it because, like, camera companies, like, they don't want to know you anymore. Like with Leica, I mean, I still work with the Leica, but my Leica's 25 years old, and it takes fantastic pictures still. But Leica used to love me and, you know, give me all kinds of equipment. They don't really want to know me anymore. Hasselblad loved me. All of these companies, because I'm shooting analog. But what they don't realize, it's not what you shoot with, it's the pictures you make.
Right. It's 6 inches behind the camera.
Well, right, it's what you take a picture of. It's nothing to do with the technology. And the people you sell cameras to aren't going to say, oh, that's great because it was shot digitally, or that's great because it was shot analog. It doesn't matter. It's the picture you take. You know, editing is really important to learn how to edit.
It's very important, and I feel with contact sheets, which we're now losing, because no one ever gets contact sheets back anymore and sits with the 24 or 36 images. But now that I look back at my old contact sheets, I see something completely different in some of the photographs that I would have never even, you know, been the least excited about maybe 15 years ago. I'm now, why didn't I blow this up?
But you should blow it up then.
I blow them up, and now I'm like, that is so interesting that this photo did nothing to me back then, you know. And meanwhile, I paid a fortune to like print images that are like so dull and so boring, and I would literally just tear them up right now. It's exciting that something happened, something must have happened in between that made you look at things differently, which is a good thing.
Have you seen this?
Yes.
This is your twin book, which I think is fantastic.
That picture in particular, I convinced them to finally got their pants off, and at the same time, it took me the whole time I was there to convince these 2 Mennonite women to be photographed. So I finally agreed, and just when I was photographing these guys in their underpants, the 2 Mennonite women walked in, looked at what I was doing, looked at me, and then ran out. It was kind of the same way we worked with Prom in a way. Prom was much more complex. It took 4 years to do the book. This picture of the pregnant girl was taken at my own high school.
At your own high school?
Yes, Cheltenham High School.
Where you were the head cheerleader?
Head cheerleader.
Please.
Right when I was taking that picture, the principal of the high school walked in. So I thought he was going to, like, throw me out, but he didn't.
When you look at your photos you've taken over time, there is a bit of a red line going through them, something that connects them all. People have said to me that there's some kind of silence to my photography, a quiet feeling.
Tell me about your exhibition, A Quiet Story.
That was also a very small exhibition, a personal exhibition in a way. Exhibitions are strange, I feel. You work very hard to make it happen, and then you see them up there. The moment that you see your images hanging, you suddenly wonder, were they good enough to even make this big and frame and hang on a wall and force people to come see? And that's when you add a little more alcohol to the opening night. But anyway.
Wait, to yourself or to the people around you?
Both.
Shall we do fishbowl? Mary Ellen, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How are you going to do the fishbowl? What's the best way to discover new photographers today?
That's what's inspiring about teaching, is to see new people whose work is really, really powerful. it's hard because you don't know now, because the outlets for work are limited. With magazines are so changed, and you don't know what to say to them almost. Just to go and do your own work. I say be an artist, even if you have to do something else. Take photographs because you love to take them. That's what you should do. And I've seen some really young people whose work is really amazing. I have.
Mary Ellen, ask Helena a question. You pull one of these out and you ask her the question.
I hate this question. Can I
Okay,
take
you do whatever you want. Here.
I saw that question and I want to answer that one.
Okay. What photographers inspired you the most?
The 3 photographers that have had the most impact on me that I can see now after taking photographs for 20 years would definitely be Robert Frank, Sally Mann, so then there's 4, Diane Arbus, and Mary Ellen Mark. It's so amazing to be here and to have a conversation with one of the photographers that I so admire. I don't think there's anyone else who's taken portraits and shown them to me in a way that almost feels like it's the only way that you can take portraits of people. It feels so right, and they are so mind-blowing, and there's no other photographer who has done that with portrait photography and affected me that way. It gives you goosebumps.
That's really nice of you to say that. I don't deserve that, but it's really nice of you.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming today. Mary Ellen Mark, my hero and my new hero, Helena Christensen. Thank you so much for sharing all your wonderful stories and being a part of the show Capture, both of you. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Hi, I'm Mark Seliger on the set of Capture. And with me are the exceptional photographers Mary Ellen Mark and Helena Christensen. Make sure you don't miss a single episode of the show. And how do you do that? Click the subscribe button and leave a comment if you'd like. And of course, share this with your friends.